Hi, it's Christina here from Green Umbrella Marketing. This time of year, we're always kind of like looking back and reflecting on what's happened over the last 12 months, what we've learned, what the big breaking news things that have happened in the social media world. And then we're also looking forward as well and trying to identify what the coming trends are going to be for the next year. So I've literally, over the last couple of weeks, been scouring all the articles and thinking about what I've learned over the last few years working in this industry and working with small business owners like yourself in pushing their business forward online and helping them to grow. And I have a few predictions, if you like, for 2021. And actually this year it's a little different because rather than it being actual predictions, we're going to see this functionality or that thing's going to happen, it's kind of 5 must-have approaches for your marketing strategy in 2021 that I think will really help you stay ahead of the game and push your business forward. So, number 1 is you need to reconnect with what it is that you do and why you do that. I want you to ask yourself the question, what business are you really in? And I want you to ask yourself the question, who is it that you're really truly serving? If we can reconnect with what drives us in our businesses and we can then bring that into our content, whether it is through our video, through our social media posts, through our blog content, through any articles you might be writing, in everything that you do, if you can bring through that why, that purpose, and really communicate that, it's going to land with your target audience. And right now, a lot of people, they're not necessarily interested in what it is you're offering, your product or your service. They want to spend their money with people that are, they're doing it for the right reason. So if you can communicate that, you're going to be onto a winner. Next, you need to have an agile presence. If you think about 2020, it doesn't matter how big the brand is or how small it is. We've had to stop in our tracks, do things differently, think about the imagery that we've shared with our social posts or with our blogs, because maybe there's 2 people in that image that don't appear to be adhering to government guidelines. We've had to change the messaging in our email marketing because they've talked about going out and enjoying sunny days, knowing that actually no one's allowed to leave the house. We've had to think about the fact that, that campaign we had planned that was going to hit all the commuters going through the major train stations, actually that weren't going to be using public transport anymore. We've had to be agile. Instead of planning a year in advance and having some real strong kind of deliverable dates that are planned so far in advance, a lot of businesses have had to work days or weeks in advance instead, and they've had to be agile. That is going to continue in 2021. That's going to continue beyond us being in this pandemic situation, because actually that's when you start to create content that is more relevant to the day-to-day lives of the people you're trying to reach. So being agile means that you can create content that ties into something that's trending on Twitter. If we think about Blackout Tuesday and the whole Black Lives Matters stuff that happened in 2020, there were a lot of brands, because they were already working in this agile way, that were able to do something very positive off of the back of that. Now don't get me wrong, there's also a few people that jumped on the bandwagon there and perhaps didn't use that tactic in a way that I would want to support, but actually for those that did do it the right way for the right reasons, it was their agility that allowed that to happen. So make sure you are remaining agile in your social media presence. Plan ahead, but don't get carried away planning too far in advance. Okay, make sure that you're able to respond to situations as they crop up. That's going to be so important in the coming year and beyond. Next thing on the list for you is, your avatars are changing. You might have done some work, whether it was part of your initial business plan when you were looking at your target audience, whether it's something that you've sort of done a deep dive on, you've really considered, okay, who is my ideal client? Who is my avatar? What are the personas of the people that are going to buy from me? The reality is right now, everyone's lives have changed. We're getting sick of that phrase, the new normal. Okay, the new normal, pivot. There's all these words we're just like, oh, I don't want to hear that again. But the reality is people behaving differently, their buying habits have changed, they are, the way they work has altered. This shift to working from home is something that is likely to stay for a long period of time. So actually we haven't got the commuters behaving in that way anymore. Okay, we've got the, this sort of reconsideration of how we spend our downtime as well. And you need to reflect that when you're targeting people. If you've been using social advertising, Facebook ads in particular, and you've done a lot of interest and behaviour-based targeting through those adverts, maybe you need to have a look at it. That audience that's always worked for you previously, maybe it's changed. So this year, you need to redefine your avatar. What does the new normal look like for your target audience? Stay in touch with them. Okay, next thing for us is we need to be multi-channel. So you've probably heard about touch points, and there's this, the theory that you need to deliver your message X number of times for that person to actually then buy from you. Now, there are marketing and advertising theorists that talk about 7 touch points. Google has put content out that talks about 12 or even 13 touch points. And this is something we've all been familiar with for a while. But what tends to happen is we think, okay, well, I've emailed that person 3 times. That's 3 touch points. What we need to start thinking of is, rather than how many times have we touched base with a prospect, we need to think about how many different mediums we've used. So maybe you've seen a post on Facebook. Well, Facebook's 1 touch point, that's 1 medium. You're watching this on YouTube, that's the 2nd medium. Maybe you're watching this because you received an email from me, that's the 3rd medium. Maybe I've run a LinkedIn ad. Maybe you've been to my website. Maybe you've received something in the post from me. Maybe you've received a text message or a phone call from us. We've got to think about how do we use these different channels, these different mediums all together to create that buyer journey, okay, and push people through your sales funnel. Multi-channel in the coming year is going to be so important because everyone is so careful about how they spend their time now. Everyone's conscious about how much time they spend on social media and the impact of that on their mental health. People are very protective of their inboxes and what they allow in there. So if you're delivering something into someone's inbox, it better be of value. We're all home more than we've ever been before. So actually things like direct mail might actually be a really, really strong strategy for you in your business. So think about all these multi-channels. What channels are you using? What are you not using where you're actually missing an opportunity? And bring that all together. Okay, my 5th strategy for you for 2021 is all about getting personal. Now, if you've seen me speaking at events in sort of October, November, December, you'll have heard me talking about this. For the last few years, we've heard this phrase or this word, authentic. You must be authentic. Your personal brand must be authentic. And authenticity has become a bit of a buzzword in marketing. But right now we are in a world where everyone is so desperate to have meaningful human interactions. We've talked for years and years about giving your target market that opportunity to have that fly on the wall feeling around your business, for them to get that sneak peek behind the scenes. But right now we need to take it a step further. You need to be raw. And you need to be vulnerable. You need to be brave enough to allow the people in your business to be vulnerable. Your target market, they don't just want to see the pseudo celebrities that get rolled out for your business. They want to see Debbie in accounts. They want to see the person that does the boring back office stuff. They want to see the people that actually make your business function. They want to see how you come together as a team. Having that vulnerability ties into this kind of human-to-human marketing approach that has been around for years and years and years. But again, now more than ever, because we've seen these behaviours change, because everyone's drivers have shifted more towards that, how do we get to be more human? How do we get more human connection? Right now, being personal in your marketing is key. It's the ultimate key to success. Being personal is no longer just sending an email that says, "Hi Christina." Being personal is more than sending you a voucher for red wine because we know you buy red wine in the supermarket. Being personal means, for want of a better phrase, exposing yourself online and creating a world where people can really get to know you. So there you go. That's 5 things for you to be considering in your marketing strategy for 2021. So reconnect with your reason for being in business and who you want to do business with. Ensure your presence is nice and agile. Make sure that you are focused on your avatars and who your ideal client is. Think multi-channel. And finally, number 5, get personal. Okay, what did you think to that? Let me know in the comments below. Obviously, I could have gone into things like how social advertising spends are going to massively increase, but competition's going to be tough, so it'll be harder to get results. I could have talked about TikTok and how to use that for your business. There's so many things that they all tie into those 5 items I've just mentioned. So if there is anything listening to this video that you're thinking, okay, Christina, I get it, but where do I go to redefine my avatars, or how can I be more agile in my online presence? Drop your questions below. I will get them answered. If there's something that I can produce a video for you, I will. And don't forget, please, 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 hit the subscribe button, click on the little notification bell, because I would hate for you to miss something that could really skyrocket your results going forward.